guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. We're going to be talking about Todd and Julie Chrisley today. As you guys know, they were just released from prison May 28, 2025. Well, they were pardoned. They were pardoned by President Trump on May 28, 2025. They turned themselves in January 17, 2023. They've been in prison a little bit over 2 years. January 17, 2023, they reported to their respective facilities after they were found guilty on bank fraud and tax evasion, a lot of crimes related to money. Todd was in FPC Pensacola in Florida, while Julie was in the federal medical facility in Lexington, Kentucky. They were pardoned on May 28th and they got out the next day, which was May 29th. Their daughter, Savannah Chrisley, literally worked her butt off to try to get her parents pardoned from the moment they were found guilty. Actually, Savannah on her podcast, Unlocked, talks about the moment her parents were found guilty. They started reading off all the how they were found guilty basically on like every charge pretty much. She says she did not even wait for all the charges to be read out. That after like the sixth one, she says she got up, walked out, and immediately got on the phone with a lawyer that had been referred to her. I think his name is Aaron Little. I think that's his name. He's been on her podcast a couple of times explaining their case and really going into detail with all the violations that the prosecution did when trying to prosecute them. Just how they were railroaded, basically. That her attorney has been on her podcast a couple of times, just going over the case in full, everything that was done illegally in this case. She's brought him on to talk about it, and if you have not watched him on her podcast, I suggest watching because he really breaks everything down. It took a little over 2 years for them to finally be pardoned, but they were. Now, I remember the day that they were pardoned. We talked about it. The next day, we found out they were, in fact, going to be released. And we went live here on this channel to watch because media outlets were outside Todd's facility. They were not allowed to be outside of Julie's facility. They shut that down when media crews showed up there to just sit by and wait for her to be released. They actually shut it down, which I don't know how they could do that. Maybe because it's like a medical facility, they're able to do that. But usually, if you're on like public property, you can stand there and film. But cameras were there outside of Todd's facility, and we all sat back waiting for him to be released, hoping to get a sight of him, and it didn't happen. We did see Savannah. She got there, she talked to the media, she took pictures, and then she went in and she got her dad, and they snuck out the back. Well, after that, a few days after that, videos and photos were released by Savannah herself. However, the actual video of Todd Chrisley being released was not released up until this weekend. TMZ actually posted a video of Todd being released, and it was from behind. We're going to watch that video really quickly. And then Savannah said, you know what? I got one better than that. TMZ, you want to profit off this video of my dad getting released, from behind. I'll put the video up forward facing. So we're going to watch that really quickly. I don't know who did this, but I feel like, if media was there, why wasn't this put out sooner? It makes me feel like if maybe there was some sort of guard there that took this and then sold it to TMZ, just because you guys know every outlet that I've ever heard of was waiting for Todd to be released. They were waiting, and when it came out that he snuck out the back, everybody was like, "Oh crap, he snuck out the back." They went to Savannah's house waiting for to see anybody leave, and they were following cars leaving her house, thinking that Todd may be in some of the cars, and then they actually did end up following them to Nordstrom, I think is what it's called. He went to go buy some clothes, and they seen the car leave, so media followed him and did get a picture of him going in. And then Savannah ended up going live on her Instagram just to take that opportunity away from them, because Todd feels like, I have a feeling, and Todd has said some things, but I have a feeling Todd feels like a lot of the media ran that with a narrative that they were these crooked, greedy, people that committed bank fraud, tax fraud, and they ran with those stories. So he don't want any of those outlets to profit off of his release, to post a picture on their outlet and then make money when they were the very ones that ran with this story that he was a thief, right? Now he said in one of the videos, I think, that because media was trying to get these pictures and he knew that's what they wanted, they just want this first picture, this first video. So he wanted Savannah to do it. So Savannah could be the one to profit off the first video of her dad coming out. Now, Julie was in the background. Julie was not, being very public or whatever. But Todd made sure that if anybody was going to profit off of it, it would be his daughter. So TMZ put this out. And like I said, I really think this must have been like a guard or somebody, because if this would have been media, I feel like they would have released it like the day of. Like, "Hi, everybody, you guys were waiting for them to, come out the gate that you guys were sitting at. They snuck out the back, but I was there and I got this." So the fact that this is released like, I mean, over 2 weeks later makes me feel like it was probably a guard and they sold it to TMZ. Either way, it doesn't matter. Savannah ended up saying, "You know what? I got one better than that." So let me see. After TMZ posted this one from the back, is this it? She posted this one, and I took out the background music, but I left the voice on because this song, I love this song. This is anytime I listen, like I hear like a good Christian song, I'm like, oh, it's one of my favorite songs. It's probably because many of them are, but um, this is him being released. And Savannah's friend, her hairstylist, took this video as Todd was walking out. And this just literally, when I watched it the first 5 times, because I watched it like 5 times in a row, it gave me chills and it brought tears to my eyes seeing this. And she posted this on Father's Day. So good. Oh my goodness. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the. Love that song, you guys. And it's such a fitting song. It's such a fitting song. Listen, Todd and Julie and Savannah, I know I'm going to get heat for this. They are Christians. They proclaim to be Christians. They always give thanks to God. You see videos of them praying. You see pictures of them in prayer. Some people's going to be like, oh, they're Christians and they stole $30 million. Listen, Christians aren't perfect. I don't believe they stole $30 million. So that's, I don't think they did that. I think that they were framed. I think they were railroaded. Do I think maybe, some things were done, but not to the extent. Like, maybe was Mark like, "Oh, we gotta say that you make this much to get this much," and Ty was like, "Okay, do whatever you gotta do. Like, you're my accountant. If you're saying we need to do this, I'm gonna." Yeah, do your research in this case because it's not all that the media made it out to be. But this is such a fitting song because they have given thanks to God for this, and just the song in itself, it says, all my life you have been able, all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I'm able, I will sing to the goodness of you. I think this was, yeah. It's a really good song. I love when our band plays it in church. It just literally, listen, and I know not everybody that watches me is religious or Christians, and that's okay. Anybody can believe the way that they wanna believe. But it just, like, reminds me when I hear this music, that, like, God is so good. Like, me as a mom, 6 kids, and I can't even imagine the feeling, Savannah, after fighting for 2 years, the moment where she can finally hug her dad again, and this is definitely a song that I feel like will resonate with her in that moment, like, "Oh my goodness, God is so good. I'm literally getting my dad back." And some people might would be like, "Well, God put him in there." Like, "What does she think about that?" But as somebody that is a Christian, I think God has a plan for everything. And I think the Chrisleys have caused so much like reform. Like the thing about what a lot of people don't know is Todd and Julie were not the only people pardoned that day. There were like 10 to 15 other people that were pardoned. Savannah actually helped a guy get out not too long ago. Right after this, there was a guy that um, they were holding him in like a halfway house and would not let him get out. And through Savannah, like pushing and making connections with people, they finally released him. And he was in prison, finally got him out of prison. They sent him to a halfway house, and, like, I don't even think he was supposed to be in the halfway house, but then they held him in the halfway house, and it was, it was a situation kinda similar, like, it was, like, over politics, and he was kinda crucified for politics and found guilty on, like, some crazy crimes, so, anyway, so Savannah, I do think, and I think Todd and Julie are gonna say this as well, I think they are going to recognize this as God put them there to bring change and to bring awareness to what's going on because the facility that Todd is at is going to be shut down. Savannah has brought so much awareness to what was going on in that facility and how bad it was, the conditions of it, that they've already ruled that it will be shut down. Somebody's got to go in there to see it before that, and they've got to find places for everybody else. But it's supposed to be shut down. And there's been a lot of people now that, you know, um, their cases have, there's been a light shed on their cases. There's been so much light shed on everything because of the Chrisleys. So I do feel like Todd and Julie will say, if me spending 2 years in prison is going to bring change to help other people, then that's okay with me. I think they'll feel that way. I mean, maybe not, maybe not. If they don't feel that way, I do think they'll see it that way at minimum. At minimum, I do think that they will see God use me for a huge purpose. Right. While prisons are not supposed to be fun or enjoyable, they do they exactly. And you know, these are white collar crimes. It's not like anybody there unalived anybody. Nobody of the prisons that Todd and Julie are at did that. They didn't. These were crimes related to money or like drugs or conspiracy. So it was things like that, and they are living in inhumane conditions, and they're still people. They're still people. So, anyways, so that's the video that Savannah posted. And then Julie, we know who are we on Verdict Watch for? I have no idea. So Julie was first spotted at the butcher shop. Her hair, so before she went in, they dyed her hair brown before she even went into prison because she bleaches her hair and she did not want to go into prison and then her roots start showing and it would just be a mess, right? So before she even went into prison, her hairstylist, Savannah's hairstylist, dyed her hair her natural color. So when she got out of prison, she was spotted at the butcher shop. Her brown had done grown out and gray was growing in. So when she got out, she did get her hair redone. Her hairstylist, Tyler, actually talks about it here. So we'll watch this really quickly. So his account is called Behind Tyler's Chair.
Okay, guys, everybody is wondering. I mean, obviously, you've seen Todd's hair because the press briefing looks so good. But everybody is blowing me up wondering what I've done on Julie's hair because we've all seen the photo because Savannah could not keep her in the house. And she made her get out of the car. And if you haven't seen it, here it is. But anyway, we all know what Julie's hair is supposed to look like, which is this. And everybody's been blowing me up on like, how am I going to get her back there? What have I done? Have I started? Am I finished? And the answer is yes, I'm finished. It took about 23 hours and it took 2 days and we had to strip the shit out of it. And of course, when you strip all box color, it looks like a calico cat. So I was dealing with that. And then it took me about 9 or 10 more hours of doing section by section, bleaching her back out to where she's beautiful and dimensional and blonde again. And I am not going to do a reveal right now, but just know she loves it. We love it. She's back, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Okay, guys, everybody is wondering. I mean,
a lot of people's like, oh, Julie said she would never go blonde again. She did. She did go blonde. That's her hairstylist saying that. Now, let me jump to one of the first photos that was released of her after the hair dye, after the hair job. All right. So after the butcher shop, she was spotted at a Target by some young girls. And I am not going to show the young girls because, well, I don't know who they are. But this was her at Target. And I did a TikTok about this, and a lot of people was like, that's AI. That's not really her. But the girls that saw her posted this. They were like, Brandon and Julie Chrisley. And now they did post it on their TikToks, but like, I don't know their ages. I don't know if they knew it would blow up. Like, I didn't know if they even thought about like, oh, we're going to post this. And then like other creators are going to post it and share it to where millions of people can see. And, definitely the one on the left looks like a minor probably. So I was like, you know what? These are not celebrities. I'm going to respect their privacy. And at minimum, me showing it, I'm going to cover their faces. But a lot of people thought this was AI. They're like, that's not really Julie. She said she would never dye her hair again. She's skinnier. This is not her. And let me tell you, as somebody that makes AI pictures with my thumbnails, I'm going to show you how I knew this was not AI. When you do AI, you can almost never get a good set of hands or toes on AI. Let me tell you. Okay, so AI would have her with 6 toes. They would be web toes. Their socks would not have like a Nike check. It would probably have like a half Nike check or something, like some Temu stuff. Like you don't get the whole check, you get a half a check. Also, the way her hands are cuffed, yeah, you would know if this was like you would be able to see by the hands or the feet. This is not AI. This is an actual picture. And this was 11 days after she got out. So first few days, it took 2 days to get. Yeah, you get the check, not the swoosh. Exactly. Like you're not getting the actual Nike. It'll look kind of like it, but not exactly. So that was her in Target 11 days post prison. Now after that, she kind of went back away again, to where uh nobody knew where she was, what she was doing. Well, she went to an event with her mother, and it was kind of confusing because over the weekend I saw this picture over the weekend, like late, and it says "Bring Mom to Work" at Turning Point USA. And for some reason, I didn't think to screenshot it, probably because it was late and I was tired. Just didn't even think to screenshot it. Right. Well, the next day, I see this one. My beautiful wife, Julie Chrisley, out in Dallas, Texas, ordering some food with me. And I thought, wow, I seen this last night, but I could have swore Savannah posted it and it was about something about Savannah going with her. I posted the picture and somebody said, actually, Savannah posted that. And I was like, I thought so. So I had to go back and find the picture. Savannah did originally post it, and I guess somebody, I don't know, made it out like Todd posted it. But anyways, so those are the pictures of Julie. Look at y'all. She looks so good. Can I tell you guys, she looks so good. She spent 2 years in prison, but her eyes look sad. Do you guys see that? Which would make sense. She's been in prison for 2 years away from her family. She comes home. She has a son that's in college that has grown 2 feet since she left. She has a daughter who's been fighting tooth and nail to get them out. She has another daughter who is technically her grandchild, but they've adopted that, they call her their daughter, that has also grown like crazy. And who knows what she may have went through in prison. Like we don't know. So there was a little sadness in her eyes that I felt like I saw, and it made me sad for her. But hopefully, if that is the case, like she'll get whatever help she may need. So then yesterday, I saw a TikTok account had posted a little video of Savannah doing Julie's makeup. And I think this is it.
Hey guys, so we are getting ready to go to dinner, and today has been such a fun day, such a fun launch day. Everything has been a huge success. Let's see, we'll wait for a bunch of people to join. What do you want to say, Mama? What do you have to say?
What I want to say, I'm tired, but I am so excited that you're going to touch my makeup up.
Yes, so Mom, how are your makeup skills?
Well, you say they're not very good at all. But
No, I don't say that. I say they're good. They're just not great. So we're going to touch her up using mostly Sassy products, but what I don't have in my collection, I'll use from other ones. So this right here, I love. It's the Clé de Peau concealer. It's great. So what I do, don't be afraid of the concealer. Do you ever use this much?
no.
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 But you said
She's like, do I ever use this much? I've been in prison for 2 years. I ain't been using hardly anything. I've been using toothpaste with coffee grounds in it to make makeup, you know? In this video though, just watching it as someone that is like studying body language, I just feel like she's uncomfortable and her mind is somewhere else. We'll watch it again, but like when she was like, well, you say I don't do my makeup well or whatever. And Savannah's like, that's not what I said. I just said you don't do it the other way. And Savannah kind of laughs. It was like Julie wasn't even registering what Savannah was saying in the moment because I felt like, she should have laughed in that moment because she's like, well, I didn't say that, but I did say this. And Savannah laughed. And I thought Julie would have laughed, but she didn't. And it was like it's like her mind is somewhere else, even during this.
the other day, did you not? Were you shocked?
Yes, it looks so good.
She was shocked the other day. Okay. So we're just going to do like a quick little touch up, show you guys how we use Sassy. And I need to go get I need to run another room and get one of the new lip kits so we can put that on.
Yes, because what's my favorite one?
Which one is your favorite?
We're going to watch it again really quickly and just, her body language is just like very stiff. It's like her mind is somewhere else. Specifically, look at the spot where she said, you said I don't do my makeup good. Savannah's like, well, I didn't say that. I said this. And Savannah laughs, but she didn't laugh.
Hey guys. So we are getting ready to go to dinner. And today has been such a fun day, such a fun launch day. Everything has been a huge success. Let's see. We'll wait for a bunch of people to join. What do you want to say, Mama? What do you have to say?
What I want to say, I'm tired, but I am so excited that you're going to touch my makeup up.
Yes, so, Mom, how are your makeup skills?
Well, you say they're not very good at all. But
No, I don't say that. I
Watch.
say they're good, they're just not great. So we're gonna touch her up using mostly Sassy products, but what I don't have in my collection, I'll use from other ones. So this right here, I love. It's the Clé de Peau concealer. It's great. So what I do, don't be afraid of the concealer. Do you ever use this much?
no.
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 But you said the other day, did you not? Were you shocked?
Yes, it looks so good.
She was shocked the other day. Okay. So we're just going to do like a quick little touch up, show you guys how we use Sassy. And I need to go get I need to run another room and get one of the new lip kits so we can put that on.
Yes, because what's my favorite one?
Which one is your favorite?
Okay, and I definitely think I'm giving her grace. I don't think just by pointing it out, because I figure everybody else is going to notice it. I figure everybody else has noticed it. So I'm just saying, like, I've noticed this too. And I think, she's obviously going to have a hard time coming back from being in prison for 2 years, but definitely going to give her all the grace in the world. Like, me pointing it out is not me giving her grace. I don't want anybody to get it twisted. Like, huge fans of Todd and Julie, hate to see what they had to go through, what they went through. And it makes sense for sure. Anybody coming out of prison is definitely going to deal with some anxiety. Who knows the trauma that she went through? So absolutely giving her grace. It does make sense. I just recognizing that I saw that. So after that, Savannah did post this little video over on her Instagram.
Today,
There it is.
because of God, and pardon my language, a pissed off daughter, and Donald J. Trump, my mom is here. So, I guess this is to say that if you don't think that one person can make a difference, look at what just one daughter did. I did it because I refused to give up. I refused to give up on my parents. I knew that they were coming home. It was never an if, it was a when. And this is what it looks like when women fight back. That's exactly what it looks like. When daughters don't give up and when mothers are reunited with their children, this is what it looks like. And I promise you, whatever you're facing today, you're strong enough. You're brave enough. You're smart enough. You are enough and you are woman enough to change the world. Today.
I don't know if Julie spoke at that event. Like I said, I don't know where the full one is. It may not be out. I definitely want to watch it because she just walked on stage. Curious to see if she spoke at all. But yeah, so Julie is slowly getting back out there. I do feel like she is, you know, like someone said, after being confined for so long and having to be a certain way, being out in the public now where you can just move freely and move about, it's probably going to take some time to adjust to get to that point. But yeah, I don't know if maybe, I'm glad they're going to be returning to TV. They are going to be returning to TV. I don't know of a date yet, but as soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know. Julie is truly traumatized. Yeah, I feel so too. One more video I want to show you guys. It's so funny. Todd and Grayson did a little funny video. I don't know if I can play it though. And his dad made like a funny TikTok where Grayson's like holding his like Alabama folder and it's like, I went to college. And then Todd's like, and I went to prison. He's holding his like prison ID badge.
I went to college and I went to jail.
It says, I went to college, I went to jail. One was a dorm room, one was a cell. Who came out on top? Hell, it's hard to tell. I went to college, I went to jail. We both grew up in the 615, which is Nashville area code. It doesn't say that in the song. I'm just letting you guys know. Both sides of the train tracks had two different lives. Both sons of sinners, needing set free, met at a party over big bags of weed. I went to college, I went to jail. One was a dorm room, one was a cell. Who came on top? Hell, it's hard to tell. I went to college, I went to jail. So that's the lyrics. I'll start it over. It's hard to tell. I went to jail. Let me pull the lyrics back. We'll play it again in a minute. And I'll see if I can read the lyrics as they're doing it. We're two different lives. Both other sinners needing set free. We met at a party over a big bag of weed. I went to college. I went to jail. One was a dorm room. One was a cell. Who came on top? Hell, I'll never tell. I went to college and I went to jail. I wish I could play the music. It makes it much funnier, but it's so funny. I love that he can find humor in this. A lot of people, that's their way to deal with things is through humor. So, oh my goodness. Okay. My daughter's birthday party. We had Kennedy a birthday party this weekend, and my niece is like, we're talking about the Chrisleys, because all my family, they know I do this for a living and they like the Chrisleys too. So we're like talking about it. And my niece is like, Grayson Chrisley is so hot. I'm like, what? Is he? Is he though? I don't know. I look at him as a little kid, but I'm like, he is. She's like, oh, he's so hot. I'm like, okay. Yeah, at least Ty can make jokes about it. I do not see Julie doing that. They have such different personalities. So it's not surprising to see Ty cracking jokes about it. Right. Right. Yeah, I'm like, he's a child to me, but yeah, apparently he's a hit with the ladies. I don't know. But yeah, you guys. So real quick, we'll watch it one more time. Savannah's video of her dad being released.
You have been so good.
I have to mute the music, and I love this song. I saw people like picking on her. Like, oh, her hair looks like a horse tail. She's ugly. She's this. I'm like, dude, that's so rude. If you don't like them, just say you don't like them. He came out with just oh, somebody was like, of course, Todd. I know it's called a ponytail for a reason, right? So I was like, of course, Todd gonna come out with his sweater over his shoulders, Like, I mean, how high class he is. Even though he's in prison, He's literally got his sweater over his shoulders. Such a Todd move to have his sweater on his shoulders, and in the video to have teardrop fake tattoos on him. So funny. But I did hear that, you know, they're obviously coming back to TV, but they've been getting some huge offers for things that people, networks have been reaching out to them, you know, wanting to work with them and giving them huge offers. But I have a feeling Todd is going to do his homework, in any outlet that ran with any narrative that they were like guilty and greedy and thieves. He's not going to work with anybody like that. I don't think he's going to do that. I hope they get offers for 30 million just for giggles, right? Oh, I literally said, I wish we could see Nanny and Todd. Yes, me too. Me too. Cannot wait to see Nanny and Todd. Absolutely. Also, they're not going to have to pay back the rest of the restitution. I even read that they may get that money back. So there's a possibility they could be reimbursed for what they've paid in for restitution. And, you know, Savannah is a real estate agent. She sold her parents' house. She was the real estate agent that sold her parents' house. And the government wanted to take her commission off the house for her parents' restitution, you know, because, which my thing is like, okay, take the money from the sale because they owe restitution. Take the money from the sale. But they wanted to take Savannah's full commission. And she's like, yes, it's my parents' house, but I was the real estate agent. If it would have been anybody else that sold it, any other agent outside of like anybody in my family, they couldn't have done that. They wouldn't have even asked to do it. But because it was me, their daughter, that sold it, then they wanted to take it. And they actually did take half of it. They actually did take half of her commission for selling the house. And I'm like, that doesn't even seem legal. That doesn't even seem right. Of course, they owe this money in restitution, or they did. So the house is sold. It goes towards that. Fine, whatever. But to take money from the real estate agent, Savannah didn't owe restitution. Savannah didn't commit these crimes. She owes nothing. So that was wild to hear that. That it was wild. And she said that they did end up taking half of it. There are people in there and will do their entire sentences because they don't have money and followers. It's not fair. Well, one thing about Savannah is she is advocating for other people too. Like the day that Todd and Julie were pardoned, like 10 to 15 other people were pardoned as well. And I think the reason Miss Alice Johnson fought so hard for them is because she saw how illegal their case was. Like if you look into their case, it's crazy how bad it was. I mean, it went from 36 million to 30 million to 17 million. That's why they won the appeal. And Julie's sentencing was supposed to be lessened because they couldn't prove it was over like 12. And even that, Julie's name was not on any loan, not on one loan. The banks didn't go after them. The banks didn't go after them. The people that Todd and Julie's defense team, like, brought in people from the bank to put on the stand, and they said, like, we rarely dealt with Todd. It was mainly Mark Braddock. He's the one that usually sent stuff over. He's the one that usually called. Like, he's the one that usually did everything. Every once in a while, we would deal with Todd. Sometimes Julie would come in and pay notes, but her loan was not on any of the notes. And then when the housing market crashed in whatever specific year, and people were going belly up on their loans, Todd actually called us and said, I will do whatever I can do to make sure these get paid. Whatever avenues we need to take to make sure I can pay this, I will. And if you look at it from this standpoint, the state of Georgia, the guy that went after them, went through them state and federal. He tried to say that they were not paying their state taxes or their federal taxes. Well, come to find out, they were paying their state taxes, and the state of Georgia actually owed them money. So the years that they claimed they were not paying their state taxes or their federal taxes, they had actually overpaid in their state taxes, and they had been paid for their federal taxes. The employee who worked for the IRS got on the stand and lied, and that's why they even got the ability to go before the appellate judges for oral arguments, because the state of Georgia had to pay them like $1 million. The state of Georgia had to pay them $1 million. So the IRS agent that got on the stand that said, oh yeah, Todd and Julie Chrisley, they're not paying their federal taxes. They didn't pay for this year. They owe X, Y, and Z. Todd and Julie's attorney was like, as far as we know, they don't owe anything. Can you get with us and let us know how much they do owe? Because if they do owe, they do want to make it right. She's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. They asked, when was the last time you looked at their account? Oh, just last night, right before I came. She does not get back in touch with them. So Todd and Julie's attorney gets in touch with her. What do we owe? They want to make it right. Oh, they don't owe anything. The lawyer's like, what do you mean? You said at court they owe for these years. What do you mean? And she said, well, that's because the prosecution told me I had to testify that way. And they're like, no, you're supposed to testify the truth. And they were able to figure out how many times Todd and Julie's account had been accessed to see that they were paid. And I think they said it was like it's an unreal amount of times that their taxes were accessed by the IRS agent on behalf of the prosecution. So they knew that these taxes were paid. They knew it. But they had her testify that they still owe taxes. If you look into their case, Georgia, don't believe the media with everything, because they just look into their case. Not one lawyer that covers this says this case was right. I think Trump pardoned them because Miss Alice Johnson, who was released years ago because Kim Kardashian helped her get released, she now works alongside President Trump, and she dug into this case. And like Savannah said, if it was because I advocated for Trump or because I was friends with somebody in the family, he would have did this the day one. He would have did this the first round of pardons. He didn't, because they wanted to look into my parents' case. They wanted to see if they were actually right for a pardon, if they deserved the pardon. She even said, like, Miss Alice Johnson doesn't do favors. Just because you're friends with her, she does not do favors. Like, if you look into their case, if you do your research, the warrant that was obtained that started all of this, the warrant that was obtained that started this whole thing was illegal. A judge had not signed off on it. The DA, the prosecutor, Josh Waits, went to the warehouse, waived this warrant that was not signed off on to the owner. And the owner was like, I can't let you in. It's not signed off on. He threatened to arrest her. So she let him in. All this stuff was found that, like they said, this could have been stuff that was falsified, that was placed there because, they had no idea this was happening. The warrant was not, they didn't even have probable cause for a warrant, right? It was ruled that none of that should have been able to be used because it was obtained through a illegal search warrant. That was ruled that it couldn't. However, in court, it was all allowed in. And when their defense team said none of this is supposed to come in, the judge said, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Oh, well. So much was done illegal in this case. It was sickening, and it's scary. It's scary to think that if for difference in politics or difference in that somebody would go after you like that. And in emails that they were able to obtain, because they pulled Savannah and Todd and Julie's defense team, they pulled like a records request to obtain emails from Josh Waits. And in emails, he talks about wanting to catch a big fish to make a name for himself. And then somebody responded like, well, Todd Chrisley is one of the biggest fish in Atlanta right now. They had a dartboard with Todd's face on it that this man would throw darts at. Like, if you go watch Emily D. Baker break down the case, like, it's not, Julie Chrisley's name was not on one loan. So how does she go to jail for bank fraud when she wasn't even on any loans? No bank employee said anything negative about them. They actually said the complete opposite. And they tried to act like this, what is it called, you guys? It's been a while since I listened to too much on it, but it was the way they were paid by the network. The network would pay this company that would then pay Savannah, Chase, Todd, Julie. They said that was a way to commit fraud somehow. When literally anybody in the entertainment industry, that's how they're paid. It's widely known that if you're in the entertainment industry, like your manager sets it up to where you're paid a certain way through like the corporation or whatever. Well, the prosecution tried to paint it out as this was them being paid in a way to like money laundering. Exactly. What was it though? Does anybody remember what it was called that they were paid through? Yeah, listen to Savannah's podcast with her lawyer. Listen to Emily D. Baker cover it. I mean, it's insane. Like the two people that they had to testify, one admitted, well, they both admitted to lying. The IRS agent admitted to lying, and that's how they won oral arguments. She said, she came back to say, actually, they owed no money. Then the business partner, Mark Braddock, he admitted to lying on the stand. And when they said, well, why did you lie? He said, I don't know, sometimes I just lie. He admitted to falsifying documents. He admitted to signing Todd's name to things. He admitted to having a email account in Todd's name. So when he would email people, they thought they were talking to Todd. He admitted to doing pretty much everything. But he told them, well, Todd and Julie knew. Todd and Julie knew. So because they knew, he got full immunity. Full immunity. Yeah, and I tell you what, if somebody went after my parents, I would work my butt off too to try to get them out. If they were falsely accused or if I felt that way. Thank you, Gail. I sure will. Yeah, you definitely can't go off these celebrity sites headlines. Just look into the case. Fake witnesses, fake testimony, fake charges. Yep, exactly. And it sucks when people comment like, "Oh, they stole $30 million." I'm like, they've even had to drop that down because they couldn't prove that it was 30. And even what was stolen, the business partner admitted that he was the one that did it. He just said they knew about it. And where's the evidence that they really knew about it? Julie's name not being on one loan, not one bank loan, and she goes to prison for 7 years, or she was supposed to. Like, oh my goodness. But anyways, you guys, we're going to go ahead and close this one out. I've been talking for over an hour. You guys know I love to talk. We'll be back later to talk about Janelle and Barbara. Janelle says that her and Barbara do not get along that great. Barbara, she was out protesting over the weekend, also taking a shots at David's girlfriend, Kinley. So we're probably going to talk about that. Also, they sued the state of Georgia, and the state of Georgia paid them like $1 million. Oh, the Josh Waits and the other person, like one of the other high up people that brought this on, lost their jobs, and now like does like jobs that you wouldn't do if you once were like a lead prosecutor. Also a guy that Savannah had on his podcast that was like a sheriff. He was accused of something like ridiculous, same crimes, kind of like Todd and Julie. And Josh Waits was the one that did it. Josh Waits was the one that went after him. So this Josh Waits character, shady, make shadester, like shady, shady, shady. But he's no longer a prosecutor. Like they done figured him out, and he works at like the FDIC or something. I don't know. But anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm gonna be keeping my eye for more from the Chrisleys because I just love the Chrisleys. I'm so glad to see that they're out. I'm so glad to see that their family's back together. I'll keep you guys posted on anything new that comes out. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below, and make sure you follow this account for all your reality TV news, guys, tidbits, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.